Welcome to the High School Huddle on the Dodge Sports Desk at Pubco Studios. My name is Brandon Chapman. I'm joined by Ryan Neighbor. He's the boys basketball writer for the Oklahoman. In the Class 5A and 6A playoffs begin this weekend, so let's take a look at Class 6A first. Ryan, which first-round matchup do you feel like could be the best?
Well, in the first round of 5A and 6A, things are a little clear-cut generally, but the one I'm looking at is at Edmond Santa Fe, where Del City and Norman are going to play. Both these teams have pretty good guard play. Del City with the two Calhoun brothers, and then Norman with a familiar name in Sherry Colson, who's really turned into a good player for them. And either of these teams, whichever team wins this, I think has a great shot of winning that regional.
All right, when you look at these matchups, which one has the potential to be an upset?
Well, for upsets, I look to the second round, especially in regionals in 5A and 6A, and you look at the region that Midwest City is in, just because Midwest City has pretty much dominated everybody they played except for one team, Southmore, who's beat them twice, and of course they're going to get in the same region with Southmore. Now, Southmore has a tough first-round matchup if they can make it that far, but if Southmore and Midwest City lock up, Southmore certainly feels confident going into that game.
All right, when you look at these regionals, which regional in totality looks the toughest?
Well, I think I look at the one that Muskogee at Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow, who hasn't played well at all lately. They won their first 15 games and have lost their last 4, and had one a tie with some craziness going on against Muskogee. But you've got Broken Arrow, Edmond North, who's a pretty good team and won some games in the McGinnis tournament earlier this season and looked pretty good doing it. And then Muskogee and Bartlesville, they're not top flight in 6A, but both of those teams are probably right under that level, and certainly any of those 4 teams have a chance to win.
All right, well, that's a good look at 6A. Let's take a quick look at 5A. In 5A, which first-round matchup do you kind of feel like could be the best?
Well, I look at Ardmore and Deer Creek. Ardmore is a team sort of like Broken Arrow that was really good, and people talked about him as a state championship contender heading into that Carl Albert tournament, and the wheels have just sort of fallen off for them. Deer Creek's a team that has played well at times. They can jump up and bite anybody at any given moment, but they're a little bit inconsistent. And if they can have one of their better games in that one, they can sneak up and win that game.
Do you see any potential upsets in 5A?
Well, you always look at that one. If you're Guthrie, you've got to feel a little bit intimidated going into play Southeast in the second round, just because Southeast has a history of winning in the playoffs. Walt Brewer does a great job over there and always has his teams ready for that kind of environment. Not saying that Guthrie's going to lose that game because they're the better team, but you could see it happening there.
Okay, and which regional do you feel like could be the best to watch or the toughest to get out of?
Well, the one I look at is the one at Tahlequah, with an outstanding player in Matt Qualls, dropping down from 6A, where they hadn't had a whole lot of success in recent years, despite Qualls being there. They've become a top-flight team in 5A, but they're probably going to have to play Capitol Hill in the second round, who is really good as well. They don't have the star power that they had a year ago, but they're one of those teams that just has seemed to come together as the year's gone on, and I see both of those teams probably making state, although it'll be tough for the one who finishes second there.
All right, well, we're really looking forward to the playoffs getting underway. We appreciate your expertise, Ryan. Thanks for watching the High School Huddle. We'll be back next week on the Dodge Sports Desk as we continue to provide the best high school coverage in the state.